What's up, gamers? Welcome back to another video, and today we actually are going to be doing a little bit longer of a video. I'll try to go through a little bit quicker, but we are going over my Nintendo Switch collection. Let's get right into it right now. So first off, I have on my pile here Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Now I looked forward to this game for a really long time. It's a really fun game overall, pretty good experience, a lot different than the first two. Definitely kind of a reboot in a way, but people waited for this game for a really long time. It's got the X-Men characters in it, which is good. They had some DLC. I didn't buy any of the DLC. I think I'm going to have to replay this at some point, and then maybe, just maybe, I'll end up playing the DLC. The next up on my list is Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. A really fun remake that I bought for the Nintendo Switch. I kind of wish I had it on PlayStation as well, but I do not. Just for the trophy aspect of it, but I 100% this game's campaign. Lots and lots of fun. The online's really fun as well. It's very challenging though compared to Mario Kart. A lot more difficult than Mario Kart is, but a lot of fun and a really solid remake of the original from the PlayStation 2, I believe. I don't think it was PS1. It might have been PS1. You can correct me on that one. I never played the original. I played the original Crash Bandicoot games, but I didn't play the original Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. Now next up on my list is Splatoon 2. Splatoon 2 was so much fun. It enhanced things from the first game, gave you some new weapons, some new upgrades, new modes, new story mode. They also did a paid DLC for this game as well, which was pretty good. It had the Octolings, but it was a lot of fun. I played quite a bit of it, not as much as the first game, I ain't gonna lie, but I got busy with so many other games and stuff, I just never, I didn't revisit it a lot as much as I used to, but Splatoon 3 is actually on its way, coming this year, so I'm really looking forward to that. Next up on my list is Katamari Damacy Reroll. This is also a remake of a classic video game. I never played the original. Picked this one up because I thought it looked like a lot of fun, and it's actually a cheaper Nintendo Switch game. I'd recommend it because it's pretty fun. It's got a fun soundtrack. It's a silly little game, but it's a really fun one. Now next up on my list is one of my favorite Nintendo Switch games ever made, possibly one of my favorite video games of all time even, and that's Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I love this game to death. The amount of hours I played of this game, online and offline. The characters in it, having so many DLC characters. This game broke boundaries for video games as a whole and what it has accomplished. It even added Sora from Kingdom Hearts, which is a Disney character, which is very difficult to manage to have that be a thing. And so many other third-party characters that they added, which kind of blew us away as fans of what this game has accomplished. Over 100 different stages, creating your own stages. The game is endless amounts of fun, especially when you have parties with friends and stuff, and being able to play with up to 8 people, it's an absolute blast. So next up on my list here is Pokemon Legends Arceus. I'm just kind of going through the piles here. Really fun game, a ton of fun, came out just a few months back. It reinvented the Pokemon franchise as a whole. Sorry if you heard that sound. As a whole, it reinvented it, like kind of open world. There's a Monster Hunter aspect to it in a way, where you gotta hunt the Pokemon, catch the Pokemon, battle the Pokemon, all that stuff, and you catch them with your character, unlike battling them and catching them the way that we're used to. And you can hide and sneak around to catch them, to catch a certain amount, to unlock certain things. It's a lot of fun. There's a hub world like Monster Hunter. So I'm really looking forward to the future of the Pokemon franchise, and seeing where it goes from here. Next up is Animal Crossing New Horizons. I cannot tell you, I put well over 100 hours into this game. There's people who have put over 1,000 hours into this game. This game has been out for a little over 2 years now, and it came out at just the right timing when it did. And it's really good and really fun. I enjoyed New Leaf. I enjoyed the original Animal Crossing a ton. I play it every now and then, and it's just a really good game if you want to just casually play something peaceful and just relax. It's a really good thing to play. Next up on my list is Mario Party Superstars. They made a previous Mario Party on the Nintendo Switch, which I also own as well. But this one was a huge improvement over that one. The previous one that they made for the Nintendo Switch had mini games that the mini games were actually the best part, but the maps were not very good. But it was better, I'd say better than Mario Party 9 and 10. And it was an improvement, but it wasn't what we really wanted for a Mario Party remake for Nintendo Switch. And then this one is simply a remake of original maps, original mini games, and a very, very fun experience overall. It's got lots of different things to do in it from the previous titles, and it's just so much fun, and I hope they do DLC for this one because it is a really good game. Next up on my list is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. I only have Let's Go Pikachu. I do not have Let's Go Eevee because, I don't know, they're both basically the same game. But that depends on the collector aspect, of course. Really fun. It's not for everyone, but if you like Pokemon Go, you might really like Let's Go. You probably played it. But it's enjoyable. It's a remake of Gen 1 from back in the day, and it's a very simple catching system. There's some battles, but it's not like your normal Pokemon games, but it's fun. Next up on the list is Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Now, I really, really enjoyed this one. I'm really happy that they brought it to the Nintendo Switch, because on the Wii U, I did not own this game, and I had a Wii U back in the day. I got rid of it because there wasn't a lot of games on it, and most of the games, well, they're on the Nintendo Switch now. I waited for a few more things before I got rid of my Wii U, when the Nintendo Switch was adding more and more titles from the Wii U, pretty much making the Wii U obsolete. But it might become a gem later down the line. It's just not a console that I really cared for, personally. But yeah, this Donkey Kong game, I hope we get another in the future like this. A lot of fun. If you like Donkey Kong Country, I definitely recommend this one. If you enjoy the originals, this one is also a really good game. Next up on my list is Bayonetta 1 and 2. This came with Bayonetta 1 as a free full download, and Bayonetta 2, very, very fun hack and slash games. If you're a fan of Devil May Cry or Ninja Gaiden, Bayonetta is a lot of fun, and I really recommend it. And Bayonetta 2 is an absolute masterpiece of a game, and I cannot wait for Bayonetta 3. A lot of fun, definitely recommend. Next up is Super Mario Maker 2. I haven't played this as much as I should. I more watch people play it, to be honest, because it's kind of funny. But it's a lot of fun. It's really good. You can put hundreds of hours into it, from creating to playing people's levels to, if you're a YouTuber or something, asking people for levels too, playing their levels. It's just a really fun, really good game. They added way more improvements than the first game had, and it's wonderful. Next up that I grabbed is Luigi Mansion 3. Luigi's Mansion 3 is really fantastic. The DS one, which was the second one, I guess isn't as good as what the first one was. And then this one really improved upon that and built a really, really solid third game. And I definitely recommend it as well. Again, I'm probably going to recommend all of the games that I have here, maybe. I don't know. But Luigi's Mansion 3 is a really good pickup, especially when it's on sale. Next up on my list is a very different game, but one that a lot of people still have fun with, and I do occasionally when I do play it, but it's been a while and I really should get back into it. But that's Ring Fit Adventure. Ring Fit Adventure was something very different for Nintendo to do. Like, they did the Wii Fit and they did the Wii Fit U, which both were interesting, but I think this personally is definitely better than those, as you use this ring thing that does a lot of cool stuff, and there's a story mode in it, and it's just really cool. I think it's a lot better than the Wii Fit with the Wii Fit trainer. I really enjoy Ring Fit. Next up on the list is The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. This is a really amazing remake. I love the original game so much. I never finished the original game on the Game Boy, but I loved the original, and I loved this remake to death. I didn't 100% it, but probably like 90%. There was a few things that I didn't get, that I couldn't find, or whatever, that I just didn't look up and maybe didn't have time for, and looked into other stuff. But this remake is a very, very good remake, and if you're a Legend of Zelda fan, definitely pick this game up. WarioWare Get It Together is the next game on the list. This game came out just last year. I have been waiting for a new WarioWare for years, as it's very nostalgic to me, as I grew up with WarioWare on the Nintendo DS, the original DS version of WarioWare. I really enjoyed that back in the day, and the fast aspect of doing the mini games and stuff. A lot of fun. Now, this game was a $40 title. I recommend getting it on sale probably for $20 or $25, because it's very short, but there's a lot of mini games. But if you don't have like friends to play with it online or in person, then it's really not something to get for even full price, because it's definitely a shorter game, but it's still a lot of fun. Next up on my list is Super Mario 3D All-Stars. I absolutely love this collection, and I'm so happy that Nintendo brought this back. Now, I do own all 3 of these games, keep in mind, for the N64, the GameCube, and the Wii. But I really wanted them to bring them back so I could play them handheld, or just play them in HD in general, because they're wonderful games. And for Mario's, I think, 35th anniversary, it was definitely something that Mario deserved this kind of treatment. And for me to be able to replay Mario Sunshine and Galaxy is amazing for me. I know Mario 64, I didn't mention, but I didn't grow up with Mario 64, so I do own it on the 64 and on here, and I do really enjoy the game, but it's definitely more difficult to me than the other 2. But Mario Sunshine, to a lot of people, is also maybe the hardest one. I don't know. It's opinion-based, but I really enjoy it nonetheless. Next up on my list is the Mega Man Legacy Collection 1 and 2. These are really, really fun games. It's got Mega Man 1 through 10. Lots of Mega Man games. Mega Man 2, in my opinion, is legendary, and it's the best Mega Man game ever made. All really, really good games. Solid collection. Definitely recommend it. They are difficult, but if you can get this on sale for a really cheap price, I would recommend it, because Mega Man is just fun, you know? Especially the classics. They're all really good games, even if they're challenging. It depends on the kind of player that you are, but I think they're really great, and I think they're fun to play. Next up on my list is one of the best Nintendo Switch games ever made, which was a launch title, and that's The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I could go on and on about this game, on how great it is and how much I love it, but I think most of you guys already own this game, because if you own a Nintendo Switch, this is pretty much a no-brainer to own Breath of the Wild. I mean, come on. You can spend over 100 hours in this game for one playthrough, easy, and with so much to do and explore and everything, and it's got a really solid storyline and gameplay. Everything is really good. I mean, you could nitpick the weapons breaking kind of thing, which is completely understandable, but for me it didn't bug me too much. But the game is an absolute masterpiece, and if you own a Switch, you probably already own this game. Now, next up is technically the prequel to that. It's kind of confusing though, because it's like a different timeline, but Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Now, Hyrule Warriors ain't for everyone. It's not even quite for me, but I pushed through the campaign. I kind of want to go back and 100% it at some point, but it's still a fun experience. It's just a lot different, but the way they did it makes complete sense, because it being a big battle and all that, and I thought it'd be darker, but it wasn't all that dark like I thought it'd be. I don't know. They also made DLC for it that I did not play, so, but I do recommend it if you're into Warriors games especially, or look into gameplay first and then maybe check it out. It's a good game. Next up is an earlier title as well for the Switch, which was Mario Tennis Aces. I haven't played this game in a really long time, but I want to go back and revisit it at some point, as it is a really fun, good game. With characters and the way it plays. I even have tennis rackets I got when I got the game, just because, I don't know, for some reason I was weird and wanted to go all out or something, but hey, Nintendo Switch Sports is around the corner, so maybe they'll work with that. Next up is Super Mario Party. Super Mario Party, again, I mentioned this earlier, it has fun mini games, but that's really about it. I'm not a big fan of the maps. Most people weren't. They were really nitpicky on that, and I completely understand it, because I'm not big on the maps either, but if you want to just pick it up and play the mini games with friends, that's fun. But at this point, because Mario Party Superstars is a thing, I'm not really going to recommend it if you don't already own it. If you already own it, that's fine. But if you don't own it, I wouldn't recommend it. I'd recommend going to get Superstars instead of Super Mario Party. Next up is Super Mario Odyssey. This is possibly, it is actually my second favorite Mario game ever made. I love this game to death. If you don't already own it, it's like Zelda Breath of the Wild, but Mario, but it's not open world. But what I'm saying is, it's a no-brainer, no to buy. If it's a must-buy for a Nintendo Switch owner. It is a really, really good game, and I highly, highly recommend you play it. If you have not played it, it is a wonderful game. Could be your favorite Mario game of all time. Could be at least up there in top 3, top 4. I don't know, but I love this game to death, and it's really, really good, and I need to replay it soon. So, yeah. Next up on my list is one that I was really excited for last year, and I loved it. It was almost my game of the year. I forget what my game of the year was, but I think it was in second. That's Metroid Dread. Metroid Dread was so fun. If you like 2D platforming, it is super, super amazing, and I highly recommend it. It's a very it can be challenging at times. It's a lot of fun. Getting chased by these robots, running away from them, it can be absolutely terrifying sometimes. The soundtrack is the only like nitpick I have. The soundtrack's kind of iffy, but the game itself is crazy fun and crazy good, and there's so much to do, and you get lost and everything, and man, is it so good. And I hope Metroid Prime 4, I know it's going to be 3D, but I hope that game can live up to expectations the way that Metroid Dread did. Next up on my list is Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Such a wonderful game. Mario 3D World was from the Wii U days, era, whatever you want to call it. It's a good game. It's a fun game. I replayed it. It's a great game. But Bowser's Fury, oh my gosh, Bowser's Fury is so good. If you like Mario Odyssey and you don't have this, for Bowser's Fury specifically, it's kind of short, but it is so good. Bowser's Fury is awesome, and I hope in the future of 3D Mario we get a game that is just as good as of quality as Mario Odyssey and Bowser's Fury, because both of them are super fun and really good, and I do recommend picking this up, especially if you see it on sale. Next up, I have the double pack of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. The reason why I bought the double pack is because Diamond and Pearl I grew up with back in 2007. It was my favorite Pokemon games of all time. Would I recommend the remakes though? Honestly, not really, because although they're fine, they're only remakes. They're basically remasters, essentially. They're not really remakes, unfortunately. Whereas Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire added new stuff, this didn't really add much new stuff, which was kind of disappointing to me. Especially, like, they didn't add Platinum into these, which was very unfortunate for me. But, maybe on sale, you know, if you're a Pokemon fan. But if you're a Pokemon fan, you might already have it. I don't know, but I'd rather say play Legends Arceus over playing these remakes, you know. Like, I like it. I still haven't played Platinum Pearl yet. I played Diamond. I haven't played Pearl yet. I might get around to it at some point. But play Arceus instead. Maybe on sale you could play one, but you could also just go play one of the originals if you still, especially if you still own the originals. You don't necessarily need the remakes. Next up is another Pokemon game, and that'd be Pokemon Sword. Pokemon Sword and Shield were different, but in a good way. I think they were originally intended for the DS though, and not the Switch. I guess mid-development they ended up flipping it to end up being a Switch title as Generation 7, or is it 8? Okay, doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure it's Generation 8, because Sun and Moon was 7. I'm just not thinking right now. But they're fun. They have neat aspects, such as the open wild area that they have in there, which is neat, where Pokemon pop up and you go to battle them and catch them and stuff. And then in the DLC, they added another thing that was cool with this cave thing, where it gives you random Pokemon to battle through, and then you get to the end where the legendary is, and you battle the legendary, which I think was very neat. Some neat aspects, but again, Arceus, I'd recommend Arceus over any Nintendo Switch Pokemon game first, only because Arceus changed Pokemon as a whole. Sword and Shield are still good games, and I would recommend playing them, even at full price, because you'll get a lot of content and hours out of it. But if I had to choose, Arceus over any Nintendo Switch Pokemon title. Next up is Starlink Battle for Atlas. We're getting close to the end, so don't run away. Starlink Battle for Atlas. The only reason I really picked this up for the Nintendo Switch when it came out was because Star Fox was in it. If Star Fox characters were not in this game, I probably wouldn't have gotten it for the Switch, and this is the best version of the game because of the Star Fox crossover aspect, and I'd love to see them do more stuff like that in the future. Some of you may have played this on other systems, but the Switch version I think is the best version to play, only because of the fact that you got Star Fox and stuff, and it makes it feel more like a realistic Star Fox game, which is kind of cool. I actually never finished it. I should probably go back and play it some more. It's just, I don't know, I never felt like it. So do I recommend it? Yeah, because you can get it really cheap now. Next up on my list is Mega Man 11. Mega Man 11, really solid game. Very good game. Mega Man was in a deep hole, dark hole for a while, I think. And Mega Man 11 was a solid game to bring the franchise back. It's been a while. It was a while before there was a new Mega Man game, and then this game's probably like 4 years old now, but it was a really good game back. A lot of fun, and it has its challenging aspects to it, but it's still beatable, and it's a really fun game. Next up is Shantae HalfGenie Hero. This was actually my first Shantae experience. I knew what Shantae was. I really thought it was cool and stuff, but when this came to Switch, I had to check it out. I guess it's the Ultimate Edition too. Shantae HalfGenie Hero, really wonderful platformer, and it is also a, I forget the name that I'm looking for, but Shantae at least had a Mii costume in Smash Ultimate, which all of us fans really appreciated that, as we wanted Shantae to be in Smash. But if you haven't played a Shantae game before, there's some on the Game Boys and such. But HalfGenie Hero, I'd recommend being like a first, because it's really good and a lot of fun. Next up on my list is, well, you don't need me to talk about Skyrim. I don't see why you would. It's on everything. It's been on everything for like 12 years. Okay, next up is Kirby and the Forgotten Land. This came out just last month, actually, and it's really good. A really good Kirby game. I haven't played a Kirby game in a long time, probably since the GameCube and Game Boys. Mainly the Game Boys, of course, but GameCube, Game Boy era, because the Wii, I can't remember much that I played, and the Wii U definitely didn't have anything worthwhile. So Kirby and the Forgotten Land, highly recommend it. Worth full price, absolutely, even though it's a shorter game. It's not like crazy long or anything. If you want 100% it, you're going to get some more hours out of it, but it's a really good game. Maybe wait for a sale for $40, but it's a very awesome Kirby game. I have 2 titles left. I'll just add them together. We got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and new Pokemon Snap Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I don't really see a need for me to really talk about it too much. If you're a Switch owner, you most likely own Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because it's Mario Kart and it's a lot of fun. And finally, they're adding new maps, new maps to the game to play on, which is wonderful. Even if they're remastered courses, still, we're getting 48 tracks within the next 2 years, which is really fun and really awesome for Mario Kart 8. Then new Pokemon Snap. This game is absolutely wonderful. If you're a fan of the original Pokemon Snap, I highly recommend you play this one. You can get well over 40 hours or 50 hours into this game, which is crazy. I played like 35 hours, I think, of it, including the free DLC that they added, and I still haven't 100% everything in this game, and it's something that I still want to go back to more over time. So, anyways, guys, that's my entire Nintendo Switch collection. I know it's kind of a big collection. The Nintendo Switch is killing it. It has so many awesome, amazing games compared to their previous console, and I love it, and I want it to keep on going with so many more bangers, and there's a lot more great games coming, from Bayonetta 3 to Breath of the Wild 2, and I can only imagine a new 3D Mario in the future, and other awesome games. Hopefully a new Metroid as well and stuff. I don't know. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys really enjoyed me showing off my Nintendo Switch collection, as it's been something I've been wanting to do for a while now, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Please be sure to like the video if you did enjoy this video. Subscribe to the channel also as well if you did enjoy, with more gaming content to come and gaming videos related to just video game as a whole, and we're all of our passions. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.